Hello and welcome back to Star Wars Minute. It's the daily podcast where we analyze, scrutinize, and celebrate the Star Wars movies 1 minute at a time. I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.fun.
I'm Alex Robinson from AlexRobinson.fun.
See?
I'm Arnie Niekamp from Hello from the Magic Tavern. You can email me at magictavern@puppies.supplies.
And I'm Matt Young, and you can learn more about the podcast at hellofromthemagictavern.com.
Thanks for coming back, guys.
Yeah, it's great.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's we're storming our way through this yacht.
I have some pretty intense notes today.
Intense notes.
Oh.
I actually looked stuff up for this minute because I got into it.
Nice.
But it's a little later, but I'm
Right.
just warning you.
Well,
Okay.
let's set the fence posts here.
Yeah.
44
Are you gonna cry, Matt, when you give these notes? Like, are you gonna?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Mhm.
We'll see.
Okay.
It'll be good for ratings. Minute 44 starts with Han and Chewie entering the party, and it ends with Beckett telling them not to look at anybody. Don't look at anybody. Which is what we're all just looking at everybody. So we get to vicariously.
That was how Han Solo learned not to look when they opened up the Ark of the Covenant. That
Oh,
was
yeah,
how
there you go.
He
Yeah.
had such a dry eyes. He was remembering his wisdom.
In my notes at the end, when he says it actually cut off at "keep your eyes," and I wrote in my notes, "Where?
Mm.
Keep them where?"
We
I'll have
forgot to
find
write
out
up our little
tomorrow.
things. Keep your eyes blank.
So a lady comes over to talk to Beckett.
Yes.
She looks kind of like a Star Trek design,
Yeah.
sort of ish.
She has that let's stick something in your forehead kind
Yeah.
of Star Trek feel.
Sort of looks
This
like
is-
an artichoke, like a blue artichoke.
Apparently, at
Blue
one point,
Blue artichoke loves Anaconda Steel.
Kira was going to be possibly an alien, and this was the design that they were going to. This was what Kira was going to look like. She was going to look like this
Oh.
kind of a plastery white alien. So, but as it is, the design went to Margot. The character's name was Margot, which sounds almost endearingly earthy, kind of to me. It's like a housewife kind of.
I really loved Margot in Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think it's the best thing she ever did. That's going to drive someone crazy who this is their first episode.
Right, if they skipped like Tuesday or something. Wait, what?
Played, of course, by actor Charlotte Louise, who was also a puppeteer on The Last Jedi and Rogue One. So now she gets to be.
Yeah, and she will keep an eye out because she plays 4 other characters in this very movie.
Wow.
She's Eddie Murphy. She's Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. She plays Margot. She plays Grandma Margot. She plays Little Margot. No,
Fat Margot, of course.
2 Twi'leks, and then I don't know what the other ones are. So we have to look them up. I don't have a list here, but we'll keep an eye out. Yeah, she was
One of them's Han
puppeteer.
Solo.
Yeah, it's crazy that later on. And then I'm going to pocket this for next year, but she plays 2 characters in Rise of Skywalker. So she's part of the gang. I love it when they find somebody good that they mix in there.
Yeah.
I guess that is a certain particular skill. If you're a puppeteer and a person who can act under makeup,
Yeah.
it's keep them around. We need them to fit into things and do things. And
Right.
Is that skill being willing to put up with a lot?
yeah, probably. Honestly, I think that's why also, oh gosh, why am I blanking on the guy's name? The skinny guy who played
Duncan Jones, maybe?
Abe Sapien, Doug Jones. Yeah. Who always plays aliens.
I don't know why I called him Duncan Jones.
Oh,
That would be a good name for him, too, though.
That's Zoe Bowie, right?
Probably think of Duncan Hines.
Oh.
I'm
thinking of
always
Gregory
thinking
I am
of
thinking
Duncan
Duncan
Hines.
Hines.
Gregory Hines is also a kind of skinny guy who does a lot of body stuff.
Yeah. Get him in a Star Wars.
Yeah. I have bad news for you, I think.
Oh, no, again. My dream. I'm assembling my dream cast of dead people into the Star Wars project.
And that will be the future eventually. You'll just be able to program whatever actors you want into whatever roles you want, and there you go, all CGI ready to go.
Hmm.
Perfect.
Yeah, I also like that the one of the security guys named Eamon Gremin takes Han Solo's big furry coat away from him, but he takes it away almost like angrily, like he should have checked his coat already at the door. So I kind of like that little...
Tote should have told you that. No coats.
Tote.
I wish Han had said, "That's my last coat."
Yes. It's a second away from making that. What did what did she say to Beckett? I can't remember.
I thought that you were setting up a riddle here.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I had the note that she was saying basically like Dryden Voss will be with you in a second, but he's just finishing with the regional governor.
Yes.
That's what it was. Yes. I actually wrote finishing with regional governor, and I forgot that was the line because of what happens next.
Regional governors, of course, first mentioned way back in the original Star Wars when the Senate is dissolved and is a tag who says, well, how will the Emperor maintain control without the bureaucracy? And that's when Tarkin informs him that the regional governors will now be in control. The regional governors should be a Star Wars themed band that plays at conventions.
Yeah, but not like, it sounds like they would be more kind of like ambient, just kind of instrumental background music, like
they should be that, or they should be.
Sounds like they should be that. I don't. It doesn't. To me, it doesn't sound like a headlining thing. It sounds like like playing like cocktail jazz while you're having a mixer, something like that. In the regional governors.
I like that.
That's just my taste. I don't know.
Maybe a doo-wop group.
It is an evocative phrase. I had in my notes just like regional governor. I want to know more about this guy, but I won't.
No.
Well, that ties back to like what we talked about earlier in the week. Like we've learned nothing about these regional governors in all the years, and so there's still a lot unexplained about how the Star Wars galaxy functions from a political point of view.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably couldn't. It seems like it's such an impossible feat to actually govern in this world where
a whole region
in this universe. Yeah.
Well, I've got good news for you, Arnie. Though I do have some more information about the regional governor.
Oh,
a little bit.
What about him?
Well,
it immediately cuts to the dead regional governor.
Yes. The dead regional governors. That sounds a little bit more like the band. They can sing. I'm going to pay attention to. They're not cocktail jazz.
Yeah, they're
That's
like
a ska band for sure.
Yeah. In junior high, the cool kid on the bus, who had older siblings, so they really knew about the dead regional governors.
Oh man, you're into DRG? Oh, that's a good bastard.
And here we have a dead regional governor.
The regional governor's name was Dials and Navy.
Sorry?
Dials and Navy.
Dials and Navy?
He picks up the phone and it dials a Navy.
Niles Crane?
You guys are probably old enough. Maybe not, but do you remember there used to be all those telephone numbers where you could like dial a joke or dial a different thing, and there were it was like 50 cents or whatever like that.
Yeah,
I guess that's a bygone thing. But in this case, you can dial a Navy.
I just also always enjoy a sentence that begins with "You guys are probably old enough to remember."
Yeah, I was worried where you were going to go. You guys are old enough to remember when you just picked up the phone and there was an operator and you told her who you wanted to do it.
You guys remember Mabel, right? Whenever the phone got disconnected,
I know Mabel.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I may have told this story before, but in college, one day we get the phone bill, and it actually wasn't my room, so I won't say we get the phone bill, but the room I hung out in with my friends all the time.
They
opened the phone bill, and it's like $300 more than normal. And they're like, what's going on? And they look, and there's like $200+ worth of calls to a toll number like that, like a 976 number. And they're like, oh no, Matt, not you. Matt's been calling porn numbers. How do we confront him about this? Cause like we need him to pay the money. Like and like, all right, well, let's see what it is. And then we can talk to him about it and call it up. And it was a wrestling hotline, and he had spent $300 learning, like just like you call it up and it's just like stuff about wrestling. I don't even know what, like we just got to that point and we were so oddly like relieved and also confused, and we knew he was into wrestling. It was his whole life he was into wrestling. But
I also just love that you were all like, oh no, he's been calling these porn phone lines. Well, first thing we have to do, we're going to have to call that number.
Right. Because how are we going to, if we're not familiar with it, how are we going to, we can't talk to him on his own terms.
When I was in college, my freshman or maybe sophomore year, I had a random roommate who, and this was like an honors dorm. I wasn't even in the honors school, but for some reason I was in the honors dorm. So like everyone was supposed to be like really smart in this dorm. My roommate ended up leaving school because he didn't go to class, and he just spent all his money on actually Star Wars themed Magic the Gathering cards. Like he just got this like debilitating addiction to playing Star Wars themed Magic the Gathering, and he dropped out of school because of it.
Sheesh.
Wow.
I'm sure he's fine now though.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sure he's listening.
Yeah.
Which would be more humiliating? Getting busted for $300 worth of calls to a porn line, $300 worth of calls to a wrestling line, or having to drop out of college because you got addicted to Star Wars role playing, or not role playing, collectible card game. Neither of them are.
I think it depends on your roommates and who you are, because it seems like almost like like a more bro-y kind of college experience. Somebody would be like, I did $300 worth of calls to the porn line. Everybody would be like, oh yeah, high five, keg stand or something like that, but I don't know. It like odd, once it clicked, it made sense for this guy, and it wasn't super embarrassing. It was just like, oh, hey Matt, did you call this wrestling number and rack up $300 worth of calls? And he's like, oh yeah, here, and just like handed us, opened up his wallet and gave us the $300, and it was like, oh okay, and it was like it fit with that was his life. So I'm going to say,
what do they tell you on? You
game.
Probably don't know the answer to this. What do they tell you on this wrestling number?
I don't. I think it was because it was like. I'm not going to say pre-internet, but it was early internet maybe. And so I think a lot of the things that you would now just get from, blogs or tweets or something like that. And it would be in quote unquote insider information, thoughts about who was going to do what the storylines were going to be like.
That's a pretty good idea. I feel like it would work even now, except for that you can't really do those. People don't have those numbers anymore, right?
I don't know.
Like there's no way to monetize it.
Yeah, we're not paying by the call anymore.
Although, does the They Might Be Giants dial-a-song still exist somewhere?
I feel like they specifically went online, but I don't remember the details of it at some point. No, it's just, yeah.
Well, according to Wikipedia, premium rate telephone numbers are telephone numbers that charge callers higher price rates for select services. So it seems like maybe they're still around.
Ooh. I know what I'm doing tonight.
1-900 number. That's of course the big. The first known use in the United States was for the Ask President Carter program in March '77 for incoming calls to a nationwide talk radio broadcast featuring newly elected President Jimmy Carter and anchorman Walter Cronkite.
Yeah, Street's Greatest Monster.
Oh, let's see. I don't know what does.
Hey, I was going to talk about Star Wars for a couple.
Oh, sure.
Okay, so
look, don't give it away. Let's set up a phone number. People can call you and get this information.
The questions everyone's asking is the same question I asked.
Yes.
Is those little lightsabers?
I interpret it as a light dagger.
Well, yeah, and I looked at it. I'm like, it doesn't look like it's like actually like, igniting or going back in when he shuts it off. So This is what I looked up.
Oh,
they are Kyuzo petars. And they are sharp carbon-edged blades. And according to StarWars.com, they are overlaid with scintillating monomolecular lasers.
Overlaid with scintillating molecular
Did I call it 1-900 number?
I know. The word scintillating was really funny to me. Monomolecular is also means
it
nothing.
Literally means one molecule.
One molecule.
Well, that's how thin it is, right? That's how thin it is. It gets that sharp that it's just one.
Oh,
wow.
I guess like along the edge, it's a single molecule That's how sharp it is. I was thinking it's a singular molecule.
Yeah.
This is my monomolecular I can't even say it.
It's
Very
really hard
small.
to say.
Yeah.
Monomolecular. Yeah.
Monomolecular.
That's the thing about daggers. You really want it to glow and make a noise when you turn it on so that like you can surprise somebody with it.
Yeah. Not a
Yeah,
cutlass,
exactly.
mind you. Dagger specifically.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like a specific blade that goes with a specific fighting style. And I was like, it was that thing where I was like, no, do I click on the link for the fighting style and learn about it? I was like, no, I'm out.
Yeah, better.
That's when I tip my toe in and I'm back out again.
It's like dinner cutlery. You're like, oh, I'm always getting my monomolecular blade mixed up with my salad fork.
Just cut right through the whole plate and everything. It was...
Well, we haven't addressed the fact that we are now finally seeing Dryden Voss himself,
That's true.
the villain of the entire movie, played by Paul Bettany. You guys got strong feelings about Paul Bettany?
Strong feelings?
I
Not
feel like
strong.
I'm always maybe not pleasantly surprised by him, but I'm always like, oh yeah, it's good. Like it's
Yeah, pleasant. He's pleasant enough.
Was this before or after Vision?
Ooh. I
Both?
don't know.
Probably both.
Vision was right.
Well, I know.
Wasn't it? It was.
It's Age of Ultron is where he first shows up. So that's the second Avengers movie, which would have been like 2015, 14, 15.
Let's see.
So that-
Age
so
of
he was
Ultron is
already-
2015,
So 2 years. So yeah, before this, he was already established as
and Solo is
Vision.
2018. Yeah.
I mean, he was Jarvis before that.
Right. Yeah.
Solo was only in 2018.
Seems crazy, right?
It seems like it was 10 years ago.
It's only been since Monday.
Yeah.
And Monday feels like it was like an hour and a half ago.
I remember here's a movie that didn't become a franchise that people wanted it to be and people love, but Master and Commander.
Yeah.
Master and Commander, the one that came out, which I thought was fine. He was in that, and he was really. That's the first time I remember being like, "Oh, who's that guy? Like, he's good." And
He's the doctor?
he is.
Yeah, I think the
so.
surgeon on the boat.
Of course, I haven't seen it since, so maybe that's
Yeah.
that pays off. They were right in not making that a franchise because I'm like, what was that one?
He was also in Da Vinci Code and Knight's Tale. Those are the
He's great
two
in Knight's
movies that I
Tale.
thought were the biggest, that were like the two most recognizable, other than obviously once he became part of the MCU.
Right.
He did that Fighting Angels movie or something, right? Called Legion, maybe.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's right. Which is a really good show. Very weird. I wonder if when they cast Jarvis, here's my question. When they cast Jarvis, was the plan that eventually he was going to be, like, did they cast him as Jarvis thinking, okay, at some point he might become Vision?
I think they must have, because it's so specific, right?
And he
Like-
he's great to play the Vision. It's not like they just got like some British actor to do it.
It's either that, or they thought at some point we'll do a flashback and we'll show the actual human Jarvis Butler, and it will be Paul Bettany.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they like decided, oh no, we'll make him Vision, and we'll make this that other actor Lee, whoever
Lee
the guy
J.
who
Cobb.
actually plays, yes, who plays Jarvis on Peggy Carter and shows up in the last Avengers movie for half a second.
yeah. Yeah, I was going to say he is in one of the movies, but that was the same movie. He was more in the Peggy Carter. He was
Two
more in
things
the
I-
Peggy Carter.
Do you think
That's
I
what-
learned about
I was going to say Paul Bettany is most famous to me as being Mr. Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah, I was going to say he was married to Jennifer Connelly, which I did not know.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And apparently when he quit smoking in 2005 after he saw his 2-year-old picking up a pen and pretending to smoke, and he was like, I got to stop smoking. There you go.
Hmm.
So my
Gotta
friend
stop
in
smoking
college,
pens.
my
Yeah.
friend in college asked Jennifer Connelly out on a date, and she said no.
She's no, I'm married to an android.
How did your friend in college have the opportunity to ask her?
They went to the same college. They both went to they both went to Yale at the same time.
Okay.
And I was like, I couldn't believe I scoffed when he said it because my friend's just like a regular guy. You know what I mean? I was like, I guess you got to take your shot. But I was like, that seems like you're kind of, boxing above your weight there, personally. But
but then that's how it works sometimes.
Yeah. She married Paul Bettany, right?
Yeah, she was already
literally like average.
That
regular.
ugly, gross, disgusting Paul Bettany.
She was already somewhat famous by the time she went to Yale, right?
Yeah, that was the other thing about it. She was in like Labyrinth and other movies and stuff. So like the fact that he would go out with someone who was like, anyway, it all worked out for everybody. So I want to call attention to Dryden Voss's decraniated servant, I guess you'd call them.
Yeah.
There's a lady there holding a tray, and like the top half of her head is cut off. These were characters we saw first in Rogue One, so I kind of like that they're calling them back here. It's a very creepy concept. They're just basically like lobotomized people with droid brains in their bodies, which is super creepy.
I love that design. It is very creepy and very the dark side of Star Wars, which sometimes is forgotten that it's like, oh, there's an awful oppressive, really awful empire that really screws things up for a long time.
No.
And I
always forget about the empire.
No, but like they become like a joke to a certain degree, like stormtroopers are like ineffectual, yada 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 yada.
Yeah.
And like I like the idea that there's like, oh, this is like, is this like something somebody chooses to do, something that happens to you after you die, something that they take and they do to you that you don't want? It's interesting because it's like there are those little things that are fun that we don't have to dig into, like Lobot back in Cloud City is like how human is he? Like Lando hits a thing on his wrist and like he's like sitting there and he comes alive and it's like, oh wait, does he control that guy? What? That's not cool. Like but those things exist on the fringes of the Star Wars world that like kind of get glossed over a little bit for the fun adventure.
If Lobot was, hairier or more robotic, we'd be like, cool. But then like as soon as he's like, wait a minute, he looks too much like a person. What?
Right. Yeah. No, for sure.
No.
Yeah, like they do that to R2-D2 and C-3PO. They can call them up whenever they want.
Yeah.
They have to do what they say. Yeah.
Do you think they don't put the top back on the craniumed people because this is like a cost-effective measure? They're like, we'll just keep the top. Like wherever they take it off to do, they're just like, don't put it back on.
I think it's just like another flat surface to carry like a drink or something on in case you. Maybe it's like it's like a modular thing where depending on what you're doing, you can kind of like, it could be a speaker or it could be a like a cool light, like a lava lamp or something. It's like
plus then if they're flat on top, you can stack them one on top of the other, turn one upside down, and put it on top, so it's easier to transport them.
I'd love to see that.
Well, and those little disc thing on top is perfect for a 32 megabyte zip drive. So if you need to store something in there, it's really easy to do.
Yeah, I've got a PSD that I need to.
I bet they come with fake heads, but everyone winds up losing them, so they're just kind of like most people wind up just go like pen caps.
It's hard to keep all the accessories.
The extra creepy thing about this is that like we live in a galaxy where like there's like robots can do this thing, like the fact that they need to take a living being and like like mutilate it this way makes it extra like body horror-y.
But that is the fun conjecture part of it is like, well, maybe it is voluntary then. Maybe somebody's just like, yeah, I want a droid brain. Fuck it. Like, it seems better.
Or everyone on this yacht is just into retro stuff. It's like, call me old fashioned, but I don't want a robot. I just want a person who's had his brain scooped out. And
robots creep me out, but if you could just give me a guy with half of his head gone, I feel a little bit better.
Yeah. I just want to see half of a face serving me, not like a robot.
It would be very dramatic if at some point a character that we knew and loved did wind up becoming like decraniated. That would be like that'd be like that scene in like Planet of the Apes where he sees his friends stuffed in the museum and stuff. That would spoiler alert for Planet of the Apes, by the way.
Do they do this procedure on other races besides humans? Like, could we get like a decraniated squid head or a decraniated
Wookiee.
Yeah, Wookiee. Like,
What if you decraniated a hammerhead? Would you have to do at the top?
Oh.
You know, at
yeah,
the,
where's the? It's
Yeah.
like that drawing of how would a horse wear pants.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, where is the head?
Or
Or
the
like
brains.
something like I don't know.
Or Louis Premax or whatever his name was. Like,
Yeah, he's all craniated.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's super craniated. They give
Yeah.
more cranium.
Oh yeah, maybe there's a top of head floating around with the bottom of a droid body. Then like maybe they're just getting a lot done.
Oh yeah,
Plugs
Yeah.
back, it, like magnetically seals back on, and like they're one thing again.
I do love the idea, like the opposite, where it's just like it's a droid body, but it's got like a kind of a human mind that's just kind of neurotic and weird, and it's just like like so all the benefits of both sides are gone. It's like the Danny DeVito of the Twins set. It's just like well, why do we make that one?
Yeah, and you just kind of see it from the nose up, and you're like,
Yeah, and he's just like like just making weird eyes, and he's bald.
That's kind of
a
what
little
Grievous
bit, and
is,
kind of
right?
like-
Isn't Grievous just a brain and basically a robot body?
pretty much.
Yeah.
But he wears a
Yeah.
mask, so it helps us not be creeped out by him.
And he's got a heart.
Oh.
Mm,
There's just an
That
evil
you can
scientist.
shoot.
yeah.
There's an evil scientist somewhere like, I don't know, I'm just trying stuff out, Something's going to stick.
There should be like that scene in Toy Story where there's all the deformed.
Oh,
yeah.
Like,
Max or what is Max the
Yeah.
kid next door? Yeah.
yeah.
Seems
Well, that's all I got
legitimate,
for
kinda
minute number
scary.
44.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. Of course, I have to point out that how can Dryden Voss afford such a luxurious yacht? Of course, he's in the bottled water business.
Yeah.
On that note, I will wrap this up. Hey, if you want to be a part of the show, why not call our hotline?
Sure. What do I have to do?
You are a part of the show. You guys,
Oh.
present company excluded. You guys want to be? You don't have to do this. You don't have to jump through these hoops. But if you're listening to this, you got something to say about something that's coming up down the road a little bit. Maybe Lando. Maybe L337. Maybe Han Solo brand card game. Why not call our hotline 8-Day Greedo and leave a short, funny message, and there's a chance we'll play it on the show. It's a good, fun way to be a part of things here without being here. Hopefully, you can go do that and then meet us back here tomorrow for a brand new Star Wars
Star
Minute.
Wars Minute.
Would you be upset if people called in with like wrestling updates?
Oh, please do.
Would save us so much money.
Yeah, I know.
But be careful if you leave a message, because these people aren't your friends.